In this video, we will be talking about the election and how that's been influencing the market, or the market has been reacting to it. So as you know, the election process started on Tuesday. When I mean election process, I mean starting where the votes started coming in, polls ended, and as you can see, right now, today is Friday, and we've got most of the results in right now. So Biden is at 264, and Donald Trump is at 214. And all of the reporting hasn't came in, but Biden is leading the key states that Donald Trump was once ahead in. Now, we're not going to get political. This is just solely neutral. I'm just stating facts here. I'm going over what Biden has and what Trump has, and how this is all relating to the market. So, if Biden wins, he supports things such as electric vehicles, clean energy, and all of that. Whereas Donald Trump, he supports, the oil industry, manufacturing, and things like that. So that whoever wins, those sectors will be affected. However, as you can see, let's go over to the NASDAQ. This is what I primarily focus on because I trade tech stocks. So let me get these EMAs off of here for y'all. So you can see at the beginning of the week, which was November 2nd, last week we were clearly in this downtrend. Now you can blame it on the uncertainty of the election, or no stimulus. You can blame it on whatever it was. It comes down to that there was more sellers than buyers. You can blame it on whatever you want to. News is always a good conversational piece, as I state. You shouldn't always blame why the market moves on a particular news. So, but whatever it was, whatever the reason you want to chalk it up to, we were in a clear downtrend. We had this huge major push up. This you could be seen as this could have been a stimulus hopes, and then the market realized that we weren't getting a stimulus, and that elections were coming up. So there's a lot of uncertainty to who the winner was and how that was going to affect the market. However, Tuesday comes around, and I know many of you are aware of this. We just have this huge rally. It comes out of nowhere. So Tuesday, the actual Tuesday day during trading hours, it was pretty silent. We didn't have much action. But Tuesday night is where the action really happened. That's when the polls were starting to come in and the results were starting to come in. Biden had an early lead, and the market just had a huge shot up. And throughout the night, Trump was starting to win key states such as Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. So he was ahead in all of these states overnight. And then going into Wednesday, he was still ahead. Votes were coming in, and he was ahead. And we were still rallying. So we were rallying throughout the day. Wednesday, we were rallying through Thursday. And Friday is where we've had this, slight pullback, and we're cooling off. However, we know that Biden is probably most likely going to win this election. And so what does this mean for the market? Well, I think this is personally good for the market. Biden supports clean energy. He supports, the environment. And then also we won't have to worry about, the uncertainty anymore. We know who the winner is going to be. So there's not a reason at least for that reason, for the market to sell off anymore. Previously we were uncertain about the election. We weren't sure who was going to win, and the market does not like uncertainty. So you could blame it. This is why it was selling off. But like I said, I don't really like to pin certain news to why the market's selling off. It's just because there's more sellers than buyers. That's all it is to it. So if anyone tries to tell you differently, know that, certain news can influence it, but just don't be trying to look for, this article is the reason why why the market sold off. So that's why I really don't like to put news as a factor of why the market sold off. But I can say there was a lot of uncertainty with the election. We had stimulus run up where we hoped there was some type of stimulus coming, but then we found out there wasn't, and then we weren't sure who was going to win the election. But now we have a clearer picture. So that's why I think that we had this huge run up. The market liked that. We know we're going to see a winner. And also, if Biden does win, we know some type of stimulus is going to happen, in January, because they've already promised that they are going to try to pass a stimulus deal. Now, if it gets passed, whether or not is up to the Senate. So the Senate is now most likely going to be controlled by Republicans. So Mitch McConnell, it's up to him whether or not if he wants to even bring the bill to the Senate. But either way, I think for the next couple days or weeks at least, we're going to have, a pretty good rally because we know who the president will be, and we know that we're most likely going to get stimulus. So there's not a reason anymore for the market to really sell off. COVID cases are rising. That's alarming. But I think if we were going to sell off based off of COVID cases, Europe locking down, we would have already done it. But we didn't. We learned about Europe shutting down overnight, or I think it was Saturday or Sunday night, and then the market opened up Monday. What was that? November 2nd? Yeah. And we did sell off, but then buyers came up, and we've just had this rally this whole week, basically. But my thought process going into, next week is that I think we're going to rally. Monday, I'm looking to be green. So Friday, which is today, I thought we were actually going to have more of a pullback. But as you can see, if y'all were watching the market today, we had a small pullback. It wasn't what I was thinking. I thought we were going to have, much of more pullback down to this price area right here. But we didn't. We just briefly had a pullback this morning. And as you can see, throughout the day, we were just recovering. We were pushing up, and then we got it back up to here, almost to highs to where we were on Thursday. So this is why I think that we are going to have a good day on Monday, because we were pulling back, but buyers came in, and that lets us know that, there aren't too many sellers down here, and that there are more buyers than sellers, and that's why we pushed up. Now, an area to watch out for is the previous highs over here. So that can be, seen as an area of where we might get rejected. So that's my thought process going into Monday, is that we need to look at this area right here, because that was a previous high. And if we move past that, then all we have left really is the highs back we made in August right here. So that's something we'll be looking at. So if we do get above this, we'll probably push back up to all-time highs. And that's what my attitude is going into November and December. That I think this is going to be a big week for big month and week for tech. We've had this cool down, we had this pullback, sorry, and now we're just recovering and pushing back up. And all we have to look out for is this previous level right here, and then once we get above that, this level right here. But once we do, I think we are heading to all-time high for November and December, just because normally this is a huge month for tech. We have the Christmas holidays, we have Black Friday, so we'll see a lot of sales for Apple, especially Amazon. It'll be huge for Amazon. And dealing with COVID, more people will be reluctant to get in the stores because of they don't want to go out, so they'll be doing a lot more Amazon shopping, as well as I think it's going to be huge for Apple with the iPhone 12 release. So let's take a look at Apple real quick. So we had this huge run up right here for Apple, and then we did pull back, but since we rallied, the Tuesday, Apple has had a good week as well. But I think this is, like I said, I think it's going to be huge for Apple as well, due to the iPhone 12 and etc. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about how the election has affected the market. So overall, we had the pullback last week, and that pullback just set up this huge rally we had this week. And you can blame it on Biden winning, or they thought Trump was going to win. You can blame it on whatever you want to, but it comes down to there was more buyers than sellers, and that now the market really doesn't have a reason to sell off. And now there's a lot less uncertainty, because we know who the winners, or we pretty much know who the winner is going to be, and then we know that we're probably going to get stimulus in January. So the market doesn't really have a reason to sell off anymore. Not meaning that it won't, but there's a lot less uncertainty that we knew coming into this election. We didn't know who the winner was going to be. They said the polls were saying Biden was ahead, but Trump came in, he closed the gap. The polls, were off. But now we know that Biden is most likely going to be the winner, and then we will get stimulus in January. But let's take a look at the S&P 500 before we end this video. So the S&P 500, is really similar to the NASDAQ. So we had this sell-off last week, and then once again, the S&P 500 had a huge rocking day as well. And I see all-time highs for the S&P 500 this month or next month as well. just because, like I mentioned before, there's a whole lot less uncertainty. Anyways, guys, this will sum up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I plan on coming out with more content dealing with, election updates and the stock market in general. So if you like that type of stuff, be sure to tune in.